Hi everyone, this is Igc Maths Paper 4 Variant 3 for May-June 2016. We are going to solve it today, so here it is. The first question says, a football club sells tickets at different prices dependent on age group. Under 18 and from 18 to 60 and over 60, and here is the ratio 2 and 7 and 3. 6 to 100 tickets were sold for people aged under 18. So he wants the total number of tickets sold for the game. So the total of the ratios is 2 plus 7 plus 3 equals 12. And if 2 gives us 6 to 100, then how much 12 will give us? So x equals 12 over 2 times 6 to 100 and gives us 36,600. Then the percentage of tickets sold for people under 18. The percentage is easy. 2 over 12 times 100% equals 16.67%. And you must write it in 16.7 as they ask for 3 significant figures. And there he gives a table. The age and the price of the ticket for each age group. Is at a different game. There were 42,600 tickets sold. 14% were sold to people aged under 18, and 2/3 of the tickets to people between 18 and 60, and the remaining for people over 60. He wants the total amount the football club receives from ticket sales for this game. So we assume that we sold 100 tickets. For 100 tickets, we have 14%, 14 times 15 for under 18, plus 2/3, 8 over 3 times 100 times 35, the price, plus the remaining 1 minus 14 minus 2/3 is 58 over 3 times 18, the price, gives us the amount received for 100 tickets, which is 2674 over 3. 8674 over 3. Then for 42,600 tickets, we get it by dividing it by 100 and multiplying it by the amount received for 100 tickets, and it gives us the answer 1,231,700. C. For C, in a sale, the football club shop reduced the price of the football shirts to 23.8. An error was made when working out this sale price. The price was reduced by 30% instead of 20%. Calculate the correct sale price for the football shirt. So, the original price 100% was X, we don't know it. And for 70%, which is 100% minus 30%, is 23.8. So, we want to get X here. For X equals 23.8 times 100 over 70 gives us 34. And then we want to know the price if we reduced it by 20% only. So if 100% equals 34, then how much will 20% equals? This is Y, then Y equals 34 times 80 over 100 gives us 27.2. The second question asks us to solve this inequality, 5x minus 3 greater than 9. This is quite easy. We only rearrange the equation to give us x greater than 12 over 5. Then here he asks to factorize completely. Xy minus 18 plus 3y minus 6x. To factorize it, we'll look here at x and y and 6x. We'll take a common factor, x, then y minus x, and for this in the middle, negative 18 plus 30y. We'll take 3 common factor plus 3 here, and in brackets y minus 18 over 3, because we took 3 as a common factor. So here is they are similar, y minus x, and here y minus x. So we'll put them in the same bracket here, and x plus 3. The second one is 8x square minus 72y square. We'll take 8 as a common factor, so it here x square minus 9y square. This looks similar to this, x square minus y square equals x plus y in brackets times x plus y in brackets. This is a general formula, so we can make this look like this by doing this, x minus 3y in brackets times x plus 3y in brackets. So here it is, the answer 8 times x minus 3y times x plus 3y, and there is a bracket but I forgot to make it. Then make R the subject of the formula, this formula. So we only arrange it again. We bring R here, R times p plus 5 equals 1 minus 2r. We bring the 2r here again, besides this r, and we take r as a common factor, and so here it is, r equals 1 over b plus 5 plus 8 plus 2, and the answer 1 over b plus 7. For question 3, the diagram shows the graph of y equals f of x for the range negative 3.5 to 2.5, and this is the graph. Here it is, this one in black. The first question asks for wants us to find f of negative 2. So to find it, we'll come here at negative 2 and draw a line which meets the curve at 10. So the answer is 10. Solve the equation f of x equals 2. So to solve it, we must come here at 2 here and draw a horizontal line to meet the curve here and meet it here and here too, in 3 positions. The first one will come here, it's between 1 and 2, and this one between 0 and negative 1, and this one between negative 3 and negative 3.5, as the end of the curve is negative 3.5. You see, from here he says negative 3.5, so this one is negative 3.5, and here it is negative 2.5. But here there is no scale here, so we must measure it by a scale or ruler. If you see from here, I wrote the scale in the paper I was solving from 0 to 1, for example, it's 1.9 centimeter. Every grade block is 1.9 centimeter. Here from 0 to negative 1 is 1.9 centimeter. So for example, at y equals 2, the x is 3.2 centimeter from the 0 point. Here this one is 3.2 centimeters from the 0 point. So how we find it? Here it is, 3.2 over 1.9, the scale equals 1.68, and so on. You will do the same for the rest 2 points. Then he says that 2 tangents, each with gradient O, can be drawn to the graph of y equals f of x. Write down the equation of each tangent. So, or we can draw a tangent here. We can see here the tangent. If we draw a tangent here, it will have a gradient of 0, and here too, because the gradient here is 0 in this point. There is no there is the gradient here is 0, so this one at -2 and this one at 10. So to write it, the first one is y equals 2 and the second one is y equals -2.2. Here we'll see that at 2 here, this one -2.2, this one. And this one is y equals 10. So y equals -2.2 and y equals 10. So this one is wrong, it's 10, y equals 10. And then for B, complete the table for g of x equals 2 over x plus 3 for the range -3.5 to -0.5 and from the range 0.5 to 2.5. So we'll calculate it here. We'll put 2 over -2 plus 3 gives us 2, and this one will repeat it again for -0.5 and for 2. On the great opposite, draw the graph of y equals g of x, and here it is, the red one here and here. Remember not to extend the line here, this one and here, the last one, and this one too. Then use your graph to solve the equation f of x equals g of x. We'll look where the two graphs meet. The two curves meet here at this point, which is about it's 1.84. This one here 1.84. And the second one is -3.29. This one here, -3.29. And remember using the scale to get accurate answers. Then find g of f of -2. Then first f of -2 is 10 from here. Then g of f of -2. So we'll only write the values here of 10. 2 over 10 plus 3 equals 3.2. Then g inverse of g of 5. Then we'll write the y will equals 5 and equals 2 over x plus 3. Then we'll bring here x in this position equals 1. Or we can get it from the curve using y equals 5. So here when y equals 5, here we can hit the curve here and get 1. So using the equation or the curve. Then for question 4, coins are put into a machine to pay for parking cars. The probability that the machine rejects a coin is 0.5. Then adhere puts 2 coins into a machine. Calculate the probability that the machine rejects both coins. So 0.05 times 0.05 equals 0.0025. Then calculate the probability that the machine accepts at least 1 coin. So it's 1 minus 0.0025. 1 minus that it rejects both coins, because we wanted to accept 1 coin or both of the coins. Then he says Raj puts 4 coins into the machine. Calculate the probability that the machine rejects exactly 1 coin. So there are 2 methods, or it's only 1 method, but this one is only short. So the rejected coins the first we'll assume that the rejected point is the last one, so 0.95 times 0.95 times 0.95 times 0.05. This one is 0.05. It's wrong here. And then the third coin will be rejected. Then it will be 0.95 times 0.95 times 0.05 times 0.95, and here for the second coin and for the first coin. And we'll add the 4. We'll add all 4 to give 0.171, or we use this equation 0.05, which is the same exactly. 0.05 times 0.95 power 3 times 4. It's like this one. It will give the same answer. And for C, the table shows the amount of money received for parking each day for 200 days. And here is the frequency. He wants to estimate the mean amount of money received each day. So we'll take the middle value here of each range for 20 and between 20 and 250. It will be 225. And the same for each range, and multiply it by frequency. Then 13 times 225 plus 19 times 275, and the same for the rest, and we add the frequency to get the mean 376. Then there is a histogram that shows the length of time that 200 cars were parked. Calculate the number of cars that were parked for 100 minutes or less. Then for 100 minutes here is in the frequency density. It's 0.1246. So frequency density times width. It's not visible, sorry for it. 0.16 times 100, the width. It gives us 16. Calculate the percentage of cars that were parked for more than 250 minutes. So, therefore, from 250, he wants this one and this one too. So, the frequency density here is 0.8, and here it is 0.28, as I see, or 0.26. So, 0.8 times 50, which is the range here from 250 to 30, plus 100, the width here from 300 to 400, times 0.26, which is the frequency density, gives us 66, and the percentage is 66 over the total number of cars, which is 200 times 100% equals 33. For question 5, it says a plane flies from A, here it is, to C, and from C to B. AC equals 510, CB 720. The bearing of C from A is 135. Here it is, bearing of C from A, it's 135 degrees, and angle ACB equals 40. This one, this angle. So he wants the bearing of B from C. B from C, he means he wants this angle, this one here, which has an arrow in the end. This one. How we get it? We can see that it's here 360, all the angles 360 minus this angle, this one. How we can get it? Well, it's easy. 180 minus 135. This angle here, this one here, it's 180 minus 135. Here it is, minus 40, this one. So it's 275 degrees. Then C from B. C, this angle from B. What angle he wants exactly? He wants this angle. This angle here. And this line is the north. So how we can get it? We can see here that if we extend this line here, this line, if we extend it, we get 180 degrees. And only we want to get this angle, this one here. So how we can get it? Well, we can see that the total of this angle, all of it is 275. This one here, from here, 275. So 275 minus 180, it gives us 95. Then calculate AB and show that it rounds to 464.7 kilometer, correct to one decimal place. So we will use the equation of cosine. AB square equals the other two sides. It is 510 square plus 720 square minus 2 times the two sides, 510 times 720 times cosine 40, this angle, which is opposite to AB. We'll get the answer, but here remember it's square, AB square. We want to get AB, so take the square root of this number. It's 464.7. Then calculate the angle ABC. Well, it's easy. ABC, this angle, you want this angle. So we know this side, the length of it and its angle, and we know the length of this side AC. So we'll use the sine equation, which is sine B over 510, the length of AC, the opposite length, equals sine 40 over 464.7. To get the answer, B is 44.9 degrees. For question 5, draw the image of triangle T, this one, after a reflection in the line. After a reflection in the line x equal 0. Where is x equal 0? It's this line, the y line. And the reflection of it, of T, it will be here, the red line, the red triangle. So negative 4 will be 4. Negative and for y it will be the same. Here it is at 1 and here it is at 1. Draw the image of triangle T after a rotation through 90 degrees clockwise, about negative 2, negative 1. So here is the center about this point, rotation by 90 degrees clockwise, and the answer will be here, this one. You can use a trace paper to get it. Then describe fully the single transformation that maps triangle T, this one, into triangle U, this triangle. So it's easy, it's a translation by 1 in the x direction and 9 in the y direction. Here it is 1 and 9. Sorry, this is not visible. Describe fully the single transformation that maps triangle T onto triangle V. Triangle T onto triangle V. We can see that it's enlargement but it's with a negative factor. So we'll draw lines here that joins the same points on the triangles. Here it is, for these points, the similar points. This line joins it and this line. We can see that the center of enlargement is 2 and 1. So the center of enlargement is 2 and 1, and we want to get the scale factor. We can see that this side, for example, is 2 points, from 2 to 4, and this one is 4 points, from negative 5 to negative 1. It's 4 points. So the scale factor is half, or 0.5. Negative 0.5. Don't forget the negative sign. Find the matrix that represents the transformation in part AI. In part AI, it's a reflection in the line x equals O. So how we get the matrix? Well, Before, you can see that x and y, and after it's negative x and y. So x is only changed. So we can get the matrix here. We draw the vector xy equals negative xy, and to get the matrix, we'll see we want to only change x. So we'll put here negative 1, and here 0. Here is also 0, and here 1, because we want y as it is. Describe fully the single transformation represented by the inverse of the matrix in part BI. In part BI, this one, this matrix. Describe fully the single transformation represented by the inverse of this matrix. What is the inverse of this matrix? Well, if we look here, if we have this triangle, we want to get it here. This is the inverse of the matrix. So if we want to get this one to this one, what we do? Reflection in x equals 0, the same matrix. So it's the same transformation, reflection in line x equals 0. Here you see the original matrix is reflection in x equals 0. So the inverse of this is still reflection in x equals 0. For question 7, Alfonso runs 100 km at an average speed of x kilometers per hour. The next day he runs 12 kilometers at an average speed of x minus 1 km per hour. The time taken for the first run, 10 km, is 30 minutes less than the time taken for the other run, the 12 km run. Write down equation in x and show that it simplifies to x squared minus 5x minus 20 equals 0. So we start with this. For day 1, we will use t subscript 1 to represent it, equals 10 over x, the time taken in day 1, 10 over x, which is the distance over speed. For day 2, t2 equals 12, the distance over x minus 1, the speed. And we have the equation t2 minus t1 equals 30 minutes, because t2 here, t2 is greater than t1 by 30 minutes, which is half an hour. Remember to convert it to hours, because the question is in hours, kilometer per hour. Then we'll use the two equations, these two here, t2 for 12 over x minus 1 minus 10 over x equals half an hour. And we'll get the x in, we'll get the equation like this. We'll just multiply by 2 to get here 12, it's 24, and 10 will become 20, and here it will be 1. And then we'll bring x, this one, in a single side, and we'll multiply by this with x minus 1 to get x plus 20 minus 1 minus 20 over x. And we'll only rearrange the equation to get x squared minus 5x minus 20, what he asks for. Then use the quadratic formula to solve the equation. Show your working and give your answers correct to 2 decimal places. So we'll only use the equation. It's very easy actually. Minus b plus, remember to use plus and minus, square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. b will negative 5, and a is 1, and c is minus 20. And remember to put it here in brackets and put the negative sign first, so it's negative and negative will be positive. And solving the equation will give us x equals 7.62 and negative 2.62, and we'll write it here. Find the time that Alfonso takes to complete the 12 kilometers run. Give your answer in hours and minutes, correct to the nearest minute. So how much time is taken to complete the 12 kilometer run? We'll use t2 for the second day, which is 12 over x minus 1. and x is 7.6. The speed, don't use the negative speed because speed is not negative, it's only positive. It will give us 1.818 hours. Using the calculator gives us 1 hour 49 minutes and 5.45 seconds, and you want set to the nearest minute, and it's below 30 actually. The seconds is under 30, so we'll only write 1 hour and 49 minutes. Then for part B of question 7, it says a cheetah runs for 60 seconds, and this is speed time graph. Write out the acceleration during the first 10 seconds. For the first 10 seconds, we'll calculate the gradient, which is 25 over 10, 2.5. Calculate the distance traveled by the cheetah, which is the area under the curve. We will use the equation here from 10 to 55. It's 55 minus 10, it's 45 plus 60. This one, the width here from 0 to 60 over 2 times 25, which is the height here, gives us 1312.5. This is the trapezium equation, and you can also solve it by using by dividing it. Here you can find a triangle here, calculate its area and the another triangle and the square. But the trapezium rule is actually faster. It's faster to solve it, more quick. For question 8, work out each of the following if the answer is possible. If a calculation is not possible, write not possible in the answer space. For B, A, we can see that B has 2 rows and 2 columns, 2 times 2. But A has 3 rows, the horizontal ones, and 2 columns. So for 2 matrices, to multiply it, the number of columns of the first one must equal the number of rows of the second one, which here is not equal. 2 and 3 not equal, so it's not possible. For 2A, it's only a number times matrix, so it's easy. We'll only multiply each number here in the matrix by 2. For CD, C we have for C 2 rows and 1 column. Here C 2 rows and 1 column, and D we have 1 row and 2 columns. But so it's okay to multiply it, but we don't know the result. So to know it, we will take the number of rows of the first one and the number of columns of the second one, the opposite of what we did to know if we can calculate it. The number of rows of the first times the number of columns of the second, which is 2 times 2, to get the result matrix, this one. 7 times 2, it's 14. 7 times 5, 35. Negative 4 times 2, negative 8. Negative 4 times 5, negative 20. For DC, the opposite. D is 1 times 2, C is 2 times 1. So the result of the matrix is 1 times 1. So 2 times 7 is so it's 2 times 7 plus 5 times negative 4. 2 times 7 is 14, plus 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. So 14 minus 20 is negative 6. Then for B square, which means B times B. So 1 times 1 plus 3 times negative 1. It's negative 2. 1 times 3 plus 3 times 5, which is 3 plus 15, which is 18. And negative 1 times 1 plus 5 times negative 1, it's negative 1 minus 5, which is negative 6. And then negative 1 times 3, negative 3 plus 25 is 22. Then find the inverse of B. So the inverse is easy. 1 over here we multiply 1 times 5 and plus or minus 3 times negative 1, the determinant of the matrix. Then the matrix will only cross the sides. 5 will become here and 1, and 3 will become negative, and negative 1 will be 1. So, and this is the answer. For question 9, the diagram shows a sector, center O and radius 12 centimeters. Calculate the area of the sector. We'll use the equation of area of sector. So 360 minus 145, which is the angle here, because we want this angle, this one, over 360 times the area of circle, of a complete circle, which is pi times 12 square, gives us 86 pi, which is 270. Then question B says the sector is made into a cone by joining OA to OB. OA to OB. Calculate the volume of the cone. And here he gives the formula for the volume of the cone. So how we can make a sector into a cone? Actually, this one is difficult, and you must imagine how a circle or how a sector is made into a cone. And so you can find here on YouTube. If you write here on Google how to make a cone, then you will get these videos. This actually is the best one, how to make a cone. It's 6 minutes and 18 seconds. You can get an idea of how to make a sector into a cone, just to imagine how it is made. I'll open it. You can see here, for example.
Plus 2, I kind of like it to there. That's good, and I want it all the way. That's good. Quite to there, but I'm going to cut off. So this is the good part, this is the bad part. So let's just say I liked it to, let's say here was my line. I don't want it half a circle because that makes part of the next part too easy. So I'm going to cut that out, and we'll say this is the part I'm left with. If I overlap him, my cone would look like this. This right here. So fairly tall cone. Again, there's no right or wrong cone to make, just what you like. I'm going to find some tape and tape this up, and
so you can use now you imagine it, so you can start to solve it. You can see that the part of the cone, the circumference of cone base, this area, the circumference here is equal to the arc length of the sector, this one, because this part of the sector is made into the circumference of the cone, and these two lines from A to B becomes the slant height of the cone, this one, the curved side. So you can see from here that the arc length of the sector A equals the angle 360 minus 145 over 360 times the circumference of a circle, which is 2 pi, and times radius, which is 12, gives us A equals 43 pi over 3. So to get the circumference of the cone, because from the circumference we will get the radius. We now know the circumference of the cone, which is 43 over 3 times pi, which equals 2 pi r. The circumference of a cone, of the base of the cone, is 2 pi r, which is the same as a circle. So to get the radius of the cone base, we get it here, 7.17, and then we need h. So h is really easy if you know that L is the same as the radius of the sector, this one, from O to A, which is 12 centimeters. So L is 12 centimeters and R is 7.17. So we get h, square root of L square minus R square, which gives us h as 9.62. Then V equals pi over 3 times 7.17 square times 9.62, which equals 518 centimeter cube. And this question is really difficult compared to the other questions. It may be the most difficult one in this paper. For question 10, you see here each diagram is made from tiles in the shape of equilateral triangles and rhombuses. The length of a side of each tile is 1 unit. So this one is 1 unit. This one is 1. Here 1. All the sides are 1 unit. And you have this table here. Complete the table below for this sequence of diagrams. So here, number of equilateral triangles, it's all these numbers were already made, and these 2 columns or these 3 columns. He wants you to write these 6 cells here. So how to get it? Well, we see here for diagram 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number of equilateral triangles. These triangles, equilateral ones, here it is 2, here it's 1, 2, 3, here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is all are in the base. So it only increases by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is 1 unit more than the number of the diagram. And then the number of rhombus shaped tiles. This one, here it is 1, here it is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it increases by 2 each time. Yeah, it's here increases each time. It increases by the number of the diagram. So you can see here it's 1 only. Here it's 1, the first one, plus 2. The number of diagram is 2, so we'll increase 2 to the previous number. Here it's 3, so we'll take 3 plus, here it was 3, so 3 plus 3 is 6. And 6 plus the number of the diagram is 4 gives us 10. So right here 10, and 10 plus 5 is 15. So we got here the 2 numbers. Then for the total number of tiles. So how to get it? The total number of tiles, you can see here there are 3 shapes here, 3 tiles, 1, 2, 3. And here it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in this one they are 10. So you can see that they increase than this one by a number more. You can see here it's 3. 3 plus 3 means the number of the diagram is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. So 3 plus 3 is 6. Then 6 plus 3 plus 1 is 10. Then 10 plus 4 plus 1 is 15. 15 plus 5 plus 1, 21. Then for number of 1 unit lengths. Number of 1 unit lengths, it means the sides here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 sides here. So how much it increases each time? You can see here, what if we get this shape here? Here it will take this place. And this here it will be extra. So how many sides it have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It has 7 sides more. So here it increased by 7. So 8 plus 15 is 8 plus 7 is 15. Then how much it increases in this one? You can see that it increases if we took this here, this one, took it here, and we count the sides. It will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 sides more. So you can see that it increases each time by 2. So first it increased by 7, then increased by 9, and then it will increase by 11, and then 13. So 24 plus 11 will be 35. 35 plus 13 will be 48. Then for part B, the number of 1 unit lengths in diagram N is number of 1 unit lengths here is n square plus 4n plus b. Find the value of b. So at n equals to 2 square, n square here, we'll put 2 plus 4 times 2 plus b equals 15. Here, the number of ununit lengths. So b is 3. Calculate the number of ununit lengths in diagram 10. We'll just put 10 in the equation. 10 square plus 4 times 10 plus 3 equals 143. For part C, it says the total number of tiles in diagram N is an square plus bn plus 1. Find the value of a and the value of b. We'll use diagram 1 and diagram 2. Here for the total number of tiles, we have 3 and 6. For diagram 2 it's 6, for diagram 1 it's 3. And we'll put the equation. N is 2, b2 plus 1 equals 6, and there it is 3. And this equation we'll get from it b equals 2 minus a, and it is b times 1, and 3 minus 1 is 2, and we'll get a in the other side. So b is in a single side. B equals 2 minus 8, and we'll substitute this equation in this one. We got this one from this equation, so we'll substitute this one, the second formula, and the first one to get 4a plus 2 times 2 minus a equals 5. We get a equals half and b equals 1.5. Then a museum in Paris is in the shape of a square-based pyramid made from glass tiles. It has a pyramid, square-based pyramid like this one, a square here as the base, and it has the shape of a pyramid from glass tiles. Each of the triangular faces of the pyramid is represented by diagram 17 in the sequence. So he wants us to calculate the total number of glass tiles on the triangular faces of the pyramid. So we'll use the equation for the number of glass tiles, which is n square plus bn plus 1, this one, number of tiles. We'll use n as 17 because it is for diagram 17. Here 0.5 times 17 square plus 1.5 times 17 plus 1 equals 171. Here is the answer. Then the last question in this paper, he says 11 tiles are removed from cone of the triangular faces. 11 tiles were removed to create an entrance into the pyramid. Calculate the total number of glass tiles used to construct this pyramid. So if I have 4 sides, and how much tiles in 4 sides? It's 171 times 4, and we will remove 11 tiles from it to get 673 tiles. And here we have finished the paper, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like, and see you again in another video.